everyone, welcome to the channel. It's the Eradicator, and so the latest monthly report is out, and we are going to be going through the best lines in order to see what the teams at Cloud Imperial Games have done over the past month. And quite frankly, there's quite a lot to talk about, so let's get right now straight to serious business here. And by the way, I have deliberately put aside some of the things that have already been mentioned in the last season con or in previous episodes of Mid-Size Star Season, just so that we avoid a little bit of redundancy as well. So as always, we are going to be starting with progress done with AI. And I think that is very interesting here because right now, according to Cloud Imperial Games at least, AI are capable of opening containers and also change their armor and clothes at the same time. So it looks like this was not something that was easy to do for Cloud Imperial Games, but at least this type of behavior for AIs are working, and it's something that they did say that we should be able to see soon in the near future. So maybe 3.18, I guess that will tell, right? Also, NPCs are capable of finding armor that they can find on the ground. They can also catch some of the ammunition that they find on the ground as well, and they can use those weapons, those armor, those ammunitions for their own fights. Now, right now, NPCs cannot do that, obviously, because they kind of have unlimited ammo, but that's not going to be the case in the future, because they want Cloud Imperial Games to really emulate AIs and make them feel like they are actual players, and they want to have them benefit or suffer, in this case, from the same treatment as human players are submitted to. Now, we also are going to have some companion AI as well, which are going to be able to accompany us through our multiple adventures, or they will be able to have a conversation with us as well. Now, I have no doubt that this is something that they are doing for Squadron 42, but why not bring it to the PU if this is also going to be bringing some gameplay opportunities at the same time. New animations have also been done for the Vanduls as well. They want the Vanduls to be as frightening as possible, especially when you are fighting them in first-person mode. And some work has also been done to hinder their progress in cramped environment, because it definitely makes sense. Vanduls are big creatures. They are 2.4 meters or 2.5 meters, so they're quite tall compared to people, right? But if they're involving in a space that was designed for humans, then maybe the ceiling's going to be a little bit too low for them, and it's not going to be as easy for them to evolve as in a space that would be designed for them, or a much bigger space, right? So they also want us to escape more effectively as well, because in such environments, these AI Vanduls would just be not really stuck, but would have problems to progress. Next, we are going to talk about new applications for AI, and especially when it comes to the cargo refactor that we saw a little bit earlier in today's live stream, by the way. And so here they've actually made sure that the AIs, the NPCs, will be able to carry cargo boxes and put them at the right place where they're supposed to put their cargo boxes. So whether it is a cargo grid or a cargo elevator, and vice versa, they'll be able to also unload those AIs too. They'll be able to unload those boxes and put them wherever they need. They will also be able to use trolleys as well if they think that, if they think, of course they are AIs, they don't think, but if the program thinks that it is going to make them gain some time. Also, locomotion for AI has improved furthermore, and NPCs will be able to use panels. Like, for example, they'll be able to open doors or interact with things that players can interact with right now. I'm thinking also of airlocks as well that players are using right now. So in the future, it's going to be something that we'll be seeing as well. And it definitely makes sense, because with quantum simulation, NPCs will be physically represented. They will be able to go in and out of their ships, and they will have to go also to trading kiosks that we saw also in today's episode of Mid-Star Season to buy and sell cargo too. So they will have to be using all kinds of interactables that players are using right now. Also, it seems that NPCs, internally at least, are starting to drive ground vehicles too. Now, this is something that is not possible right now, unfortunately. But in the future, NPCs will be able to drive ground vehicles. It's something that we've seen in, for example, the 2016 SeasonCon presentation, that you can see the footage right here, where we've seen a lot of SeasonCon presentations where NPCs are actually driving vehicles, and this is made possible because of the planetary navigation system that has been introduced recently, which allows NPCs to walk on planet surfaces, and thanks to that technology, they will also be able to drive ground vehicles, as we can see here. So yeah, that's really nice to see. Also, next is something that's going to be quite impressive here, because we are going to have creatures in Star Citizen. That is not news in itself, but it seems like Cloud Imperial Games has finished building a rig for the very first creature that's going to be implemented in Star Citizen. We don't know what creature is going to be. Maybe those creatures that we see here on screen, those little xenopods that we can see, that we saw in the 2017 presentation on Lorville. I think that it will be awesome. No words, of course, as of right now. And so, because the first rig has been done, they are going to be working now on animating those creatures. So really hope that we're going to have some news maybe in 2023, or maybe in the roadmap update, as of what kind of creature they're going to be bringing in the game. Also, next, let's talk about SPK, Security Post Corray, which is going to have their own armor set, and that's probably going to be for their guards too. Also, new types of clothes have been developed here. These are the clothes for frontier types of environments. So we're going to have a frontier war clothes as well as frontier on the suits. Now, normally when we have a monthly report, the monthly report does have a pretty significant large ship section. It's not the case. This month they only talk about the Argo SRV, which apparently has its interior that is in final R. So it looks like the Argo SRV is also close to be completed. Maybe we'll see it in this year's Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. I don't think so. They haven't talked about it. They only talked about the Corsair. Maybe it will be in 3.19 if there is a 3.19. I guess that we'll see, right? Next, let's talk about Arena Commander, because it does seem like in the future we are going to have new stuff in Arena Commander, which is not going to be a luxury, but it's going to include actually a new mode here, which is called the dual mode, which Cloud Imperium Games hope that in the future is going to be the go-to mode when it comes to competitive PvP action. Also, we are going to have 5 new maps that are going to be dedicated to the racing mode, and that's going to be the one that's the Snake Pit on Clio. We're also going to have a map called Icebreaker, Rotary Station, Download Derby, that is going to be above Horizon, as well as Lorville Getaways, to which, as the name is self-explanatory, maybe they'll be using the Lorville refactor, since we can fly above Lorville now, to have a race, which I think would be quite awesome, right? Next, we are also going to have a new space map too for dogfighting, and that map is Jericho Station. Of course, those of you who have done the Xenothreat events know what Jericho Station is. It is a UEE station located not too far from Microtech, in the Microtech L1 Lagrange point. And I think that I'm really glad that Cloud Imperium Games are doing that. It's something that I've talked a lot on the channel, that they should be using elements of the PU in Arena Commander and Star Marine to have, maps or locations that already exist and that they don't need to build from scratch. So it's going to be saving them quite a lot of time, and I'm really glad that they're doing so, right? Plus, these are locations that we are familiar with, that we love. So it's going to be it's going to be really interesting to see them or at least fight in places like those where there's not going to be the pressure that you have when you are inside a PU. Now, next we're going to talk about the cargo system. Now, we did talk about it obviously in today's live stream a little bit earlier. But yeah, since they are talking about it in the monthly report and in Inside Stars, I really believe that they are quite confident that it's going to be making it to 3.18. It seems that the new purchase kiosk have finally been implemented, and obviously it's going to be affecting the way that we are going to be buying and selling commodities, but also how it's going to be transported. That is what the monthly report says too. Also, they did say that freight elevators are planned. The work on freight elevator is planned, but we're not going to have it with 3.18. The work is planned for the last quarter of this year, so perhaps we will see an implementation in Star Citizen with 4.0, but unfortunately no details were given to us about that. Also, missions are going to benefit from new changes as well. There will be new opportunities for escape for if you are sent to Klesher, and also it seems that Jumptown is going to have a little bit of an update here. They are finally going to have a second entrance for Jumptown, something that players have been waiting for quite some time. And also they will be completely redoing the interior. There will have less doors, they will have windows so we can see what's happening inside but also outside right when you are inside. And a second contraband dispensary will be installed as well, which is going to be bringing more opportunities for players who maybe will want to make a little bit more money, right? Because right now there's kind of a traffic jam very often, right? So maybe CIG have realized that those Jumptown events are quite popular, especially when the PU is not meaningless right now, when there's actually a reason to play the game. So maybe that's why they're doing that. Also, we are going to finish here with the space map. The space map, which is still in development, the new space map, right? And developers here are trying to make it visible on multiple support, including obviously the Mobiglass, as we are seeing here, but also the inside of ships, and also some screens that will be visible in different landings, locations, maybe like a landing zone or an outpost, right? Anyway, that is all for the highlights of this monthly report. But let me know in the comment section down below, guys, what is the one thing that caught your attention from this monthly report? Is there something that you are more excited about? As far as I'm concerned here, I'm really excited about the creatures that they did talk about. I cannot wait to see if they're going to be putting them in caves or maybe around outposts, or if there's going to be some kind of infestation. We're going to have to eradicate all those groups of creatures. I just can't wait to see what they are going to be building with those creatures, and I think there's going to be a ton of different gameplay opportunities for those. But anyway, guys, that is all for today. Thank you so much as always for watching, and a big shout out to everybody who's been liking the video. It really helps the channel a lot. And again, if you have anything to share, don't forget to leave a comment down there in the comment section down below. Thank you so much to all my Patreons and YouTube Joe members who help the channel a lot, especially Dr. Fobin, Geek Citizen, the DJ Dunn, Zero Crusher, and Wolfpack Pug. It's been the Eradicator. I will see you guys later.